What's up guys, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be breaking down Beifeng's gameplay, the macro, the micro, everything you need to know in order to climb your own games. We'll be taking a look at every click that he does and we'll break down everything with my commentary. I hope you enjoy, and now let's jump right into the video. Guys, if you truly want to improve, coaching is the best way to do that. I'm offering coaching at a very low price in order to help as many people as possible. You just have to join my Patreon. You'll get access to daily coachings on my Discord server. You get access to daily feedback to your questions and clips. You can just send them into the server, into dedicated channels, and I will be happy to help you guys out. And you can access a library of all past coaching sessions that I did on this Discord. And now let's jump into the video. Alright guys, here we are. Beifeng gameplay, 1300 LP into Syndra. I just choose a random game, by the way. I don't know what we will see here essentially, right? So we'll just take a look. First small detail here, as you can see, he just dodged the Syndra W. I'll let it play out again. So what he does here, and this is like very important, look at the minions, you know. Syndra players, they always try to punish you on minions, okay? So she will think that you go for this creep. Beifeng is really like putting a lot of focus on this, and he knows, okay, Syndra will try to poke here. So I'm already like pretending to walk up and then walking to the side. Syndra Q has quite a lot of cooldown early on. I think it's like, was it 8 or 9 seconds, I think. So what happens is after Syndra uses the Q, what you have is you have a free window to now walk up for these minions. You maybe miss one, but you can walk up for the rest of the minions. So let's see. Syndra used her Q, so now he can just walk up. She will get an auto attack off at max, exactly, and nothing more. And now he skills his W because he knows that Syndra will try to Q him again. W start is most of the time the better call into Syndra, because you can dodge the Q ability. So as you can see, Syndra uses W, and he's thinking about this, waiting for it, waiting for the animation, and then Wing to the side. This is not that hard to do, and I'm pretty sure you can do that as well, if you like put a lot of focus onto this specifically. Alright, so now what we can see is that the wave is getting pushed under his tower, okay? So let's, like, you need to take a look at every single click here. I will, like, this is very important, and it's crazy how good this guy is at doing this. So take a look. He walks back. He walks up again. He waits for the Syndra W. She's holding W right now, okay? And now she'll try to auto-attack him on this last hit, as you can see. But he's not going for the minion. He's just giving it up because he would lose HP. So he's prioritizing his HP, like, really hard with Qiyana early on. He gets hit by 1 Q, but that's fine. Getting hit by 1 Q is not a problem at all. The reason for that is really simple. Syndra is a 2 ability rotating champion. If she hits 2 abilities in a row, she can stack her passive. So if you only get hit by 1, it's not that bad. First of all, you lose less HP compared to getting hit by 2. And also, you don't give her passive stacks. So if you get hit by 1 ability, that's fine, but don't get hit by 2 abilities at the same time. Right, and now as you can see, he has a free time again, just farming here. Let's get this back to normal. And it's really easy for him to just walk up to the minions and farm, you know. The reason why he's not hitting them too fast is because he wants the wave to be closer at this side of the tower. So if he hits these minions faster, this wave will leave the tower quicker, and then the wave will stack like here or here, which makes it harder for your allies to gank, and also Syndra doesn't have to walk up as far, you know. So right now what you can see is that Pyke already said that he will ping. So let's break this down. Pyke pinged this, and now you know that Beifeng will set this up already. He's thinking about this. He's positioning on this side, so Syndra walks to this side. People always try to mirror you, because if you are standing here and she's standing on the same side, she doesn't have as much distance and you can hit her. So people naturally walk to the other side of your character, So if you walk to this side, she will automatically walk to this side. If you walk to this side, she will walk to that side. So you can use that info to set up ganks. So let's see what he does. He spaces the Syndra here with a Q in a moment. So he auto attacks and then spaces with Q, grabs Ice in stealth. And this is a very important detail, guys. You need to grab Ice in stealth. He automatically grabs Ice in stealth, no downtime. And then Ice Qs the Syndra as soon as she comes, and she has to flash. So they get the flash, which is extremely worth it. So you have to know, like, a mage with no summoner spells is just so easy to kill, especially if you have an Elise and a Pyke. And you will see this work out later, probably. So what's happening here is, as you can see, the Avengers come through here. So Elise uses an E flash, Beifeng tries to WQ to Syndra, but the Shaco box blocks it, which was really well played by the Shaco. As you can see, like right here, tries to WQ, but the box just blocked it. So he decides to just use Ignite. He gets the kill. That's pretty straightforward, right? So beautiful, beautiful kill. He gets the first blood. They kill the Shaco as well. And I think now it's really just about shoving the wave here and then taking a reset. At least even use a smite, which is extremely smart, just to like speed up the process of shoving the wave. And yes, his teammates did play this really well, but he also set it up perfectly. If you mess up this setup with Ice, Syndra might dodge the Q from Pyke, she doesn't have to flash, and then you don't even get a kill here. So don't underestimate how much setup it needed for like Beifeng to get a really good kill into Syndra here. So Syndra interrupts the reset here. Really good by Syndra, to be honest, because it delays the time of Beifeng coming back. He is opting for the Dirk and also for a longsword here. So let's actually take a look at Beifeng's team here. And just at the comp in general. I just want to elaborate on this a little bit. So you have an Elise, Qiyana, which is scary as hell, by the way. Like, if you see Elise, Qiyana, and they both already have a kill, you are not allowed to, like, walk into objectives, basically. That's, like, really, really tough to do. So Syndra has to be extremely careful. And what you want to do is you want to play around your jungler here. And just decide on which side you want to play around. I don't think there's a big difference here. Like, Yawn is killable and the bot lane is killable too. It really just depends on what's going on. Are you playing Grubs? I'm not playing Grubs. So, generally speaking, you have a great engaged team comp here with Elise E, with Qiyana R, with Pyke Hook, and with Olaf ult and the Q as well. So, breaking down the team comps here, I think these guys are playing for engage, and these guys are mainly playing for disengage and like front to back fighting with Kalista, Syndra, you know, playing it a bit slow. So, yeah, and I think Nico also wouldn't use the ult aggressively. So just keep this in mind for the team fights later on, okay? It's like really important to break this down, especially if you get to like Master Plus, this becomes a lot more relevant. So we are breaking this down right here, so you can already like see how you should be playing this game, probably. Alright, so Syndra shoves in the wave, and Beifeng pings that she's gone, and he also pings like on the way of the Syndra, which is quite important. She doesn't really get much here. She just hovers a bit. And now look, Beifeng grabs grass, and I see this really often in my coachings that people don't really grab grass, so something that's really like worth noting. You can play around grass like extremely well. And this is something you should never do as Syndra, by the way. You should always, please guys, if you play Syndra, don't use your E like this. You have to use it defensively and not aggressively. Because even if you hit this E, it's not good. You have 17 seconds of downtime now because your E is on cooldown, where Qiyana can permanently jump on these minions and threaten you. And if you have E, that's not really possible, you know? So ideally you want to time your E with the E from Qiyana. That way it's like much easier for you to play. So now you will see 100%, I can guarantee you, like I haven't seen this VOD, but Beifeng will try to get a nice poke. Yeah, so let's break this down. So he EQs and then waits a bit. Nice little detail here. Look, he EQs and he sees that bone plating is up. So instead of using Q instantly, he waits like 1 second for the bone plating to expire and then he uses the Q. WQ, beautiful. Max range. And that way he gets a little bit more damage off. So now he'll probably grab Ice, yeah, beautiful. Because now you have a lot of like threat with Ice. So you start the trade with Grass and then you have a lot of threat with Ice. So now he'll probably look for a window here. Absolutely amazing. So take a look at this. He walks up, he waits for the Syndra to like walk up too close, and he knows that the Q will reach the Syndra here. So he E's onto this cannon minion, Q's the Syndra, grabs W on top, and then uses Q auto attack to get electrocute proc. So EQ, WQ auto attack, procs electro, and Syndra is about to die here. So Elise comes through, jumps onto the Syndra. Remember that she doesn't have E, now she got it, and he just finishes it off with like a Q flash. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So now you might say, yeah, he has a really good jungler, right? Like all of that BS. Of course, I understand that, but look, he set up the Syndra to be so low, number one. Second of all, even if Elise doesn't come here, this is a free kill. This is a completely free kill. If Syndra goes back here, which she absolutely has to do, she will lose a lot of HP. She will lose a lot of HP, she will die, and she will miss the cannon. So it's really bad for her to stay here. So what Elise does is just like accelerating it. Obviously, Beifeng is pushing this wave, he's grabbing Ice, and he's diving the Syndra onto the next rotation. Support is bot, so there's no one that can help except from Shaco, and even if Beifeng dies here, she loses the cannon minion, so it's 100% worth it. So yeah, he has a really good jungler. I see that, but at the same time, you know, the setup was still really good, and he, by the way, didn't miss a single Q up until this point. Like, he hit every single Q. The efficiency that he has is absolutely crazy. And I think now you are just pushing the wave, looking for a reset. So let's break down how he pushes the wave. I said we are taking a look at every click, so let's do that. He auto-attacks it first, and he is holding the unempowered Q. Important detail, he's holding it. So he's holding the unempowered Q. Auto-attack, auto-attack, auto-attack. And he's also waiting here with the Q, because he wants the next W to come up so he can Q the W, Q the wave instantly, and then just jump out. Really nice detail here. And also, look how he's angling himself. We are going really into detail here, guys. I know, but I think it's important. He's angling himself like this, so all these minions are in line with the Q hitbox. If you are standing here, that's much harder to do, because then you throw the Q like this, and it's harder to hit all 3 minions. So if you stand a bit to the side, you are lining them up for your Q. So you can just Q and then W Q and kill all of them. Beautiful. He even misses one, but nobody cares about that. It doesn't change his reset. Anyways, it's only 14 gold. And item-wise, guys, look at the items here. He is rushing for hubris. I see this really often that people overthink items. But guys, if he's going for this in like 1.3k LP challenger, I'm pretty sure you can also go for hubris in like bronze, silver, gold, whatever elo it is. You just need to get better in the end of the day. It's all about the gameplay. So Beifeng comes back here. Syndra shoved the wave. And now you can see that he's not really doing much, you know, just last hitting the minions. And the reason why he's not hitting them like a lot quicker is probably he's just waiting. Maybe she will walk up and try to like zone him off the minions. So he's just holding the minions there in order to E onto the minions and then Q. But in this case, nothing really happens. And now again, you can see that he's panning his camera up, because he wants the Syndra to walk up and then he can E on the minion and try to trade. You really want to like utilize the lead that you have right now. So let's see what he does. He waits for the wave here. He slow pushes it. And now when E6 and Syndra walks up, EQ. He misses the EQ, of course, but it was still like a nice try. And also look at this. I can promise you a lot of you guys would have went for this minion here. But he doesn't do it, because he knows that the W will hit him. He's like really taking a look at his HP. He's prioritizing his HP. Since Grubs are up and he's hugging topside here with the Grubs. With Qiyana, generally speaking, going for Grubs is super important, because Grubs are like a really fast way to end the game, and you don't really want to get to the super late game with Qiyana, because she does drop a bit there. She's really strong early to mid, but after that she does drop at the moment. Even though she's like pitched as this late game assassin, that's not really true in my opinion. Like, she is strong late game, don't get me wrong, especially with her ult, but there are stronger champions late game, especially because there's a lot of counterplay to it the later on you get to the game. Alright, so it's just important to note, guys, he's always like walking around and then also holding his cursor always to the sides, as you can see. So just in case she uses Q, you know, like he's always able to W2 aside because of his cursor. And he's only using the Q when he thinks that he can really hit the Syndra. And I see a lot of you guys hitting Qs onto minions, but he didn't do that like once unless he needed to push out the wave and reset. He only holds his auto attacks here, only auto attacks the minions. And then when it's time, he like tries to Q the Syndra instead of Qing the wave. So abilities, always use them for the enemy champion, not for farming, basically, if you can. Okay, so let's break this down right here. Let's see why this doesn't work, right? Let's see why this doesn't work. So let's go back. Let's slow this down. So what does he do here? He E's onto this minion that's low and uses Q. As I mentioned, Q doesn't auto-aim, okay? Then he W's forward. Why does he W first before using R? If you W first, this puts your W on cooldown. So the next W is up quicker, which is important for comboing, okay? That's number one. Number two, it gets you closer to the Syndra. So you can use one auto attack here, like when the R is being casted. So what he does here is he presses W. In the animation of the W, he presses R. And then while the R is flying, he uses an auto attack. Alright? Take a look at this. W, R, auto attack. Ignite, proccing Electro. And she's already half-life. One more auto attack, and then uses Q. And I think if he gets his last auto attack off, she might even die. But he didn't get that because of the E. So I really respect the attempt here. Really good. And the W, this W is up because he used W so early, right? Because the next W was on cooldown super quick. So really nice details here. And I think he misaims the Q a bit here. I think he like throws it like that. He might actually hit the Syndra. Yeah. So I think he misaims the Q a bit. So nice execution, but a bit inaccurate in the end, right? But yeah, I think what he could have done better right here is instead of like all-inning her right away, I think he could have just EQ'd and then used like one auto attack and don't proc Electro. Because then you can kill her in the next rotation with Electro, you know? You can like auto attack her here and then grab Ice to dodge, like, to dodge her E. And then you can just hold Ice, wait for your next W, and then go for a kill. So I think that would have been even better, right? But it's cool. I mean, he almost gets the kill. He tries to play it perfectly, which almost works out, so that's pretty good. Alright, let's skip forward here a bit. I think he will just push in the wave, most likely. So let's see how he shoves the wave. He walks up to the wave quick. First of all, auto attacks it down and waits for the minions to come in. The closer these minions are together, the more minions you are hitting with one Q. So you want to be efficient. Again, he Qs the minions, then grabs Ice and waits for his next W. Look how he's positioning himself. He's using the Qiyana Q hitbox perfectly here. So if you take a look, he hits this minion, this minion, this minion, and this minion with this Q. What he'll do now is he'll grab W with this, W here, and then Q the minions again. Like, he's using the Q hitbox perfectly. Q, and then hits both Qs with, he just hits both minions here with the Q. And now takes a beautiful reset. He could go for the plating, but look what he's doing. He's not going for the plating. Why do you think is that? He would show, and there's a risk that Shaco is there. That's number one. Number two, he already has enough gold for Hubris. So, yeah, plating is nice, but that 125 gold is not worth the risk. Like, if Shaco comes here, you have no mana, you'll die. So instead, what he does is he takes a reset, and he's just waiting for Hubris in base for like a second or something, right? I mean, he has it instantly after the base. So as you can see, he has the Hubris, and now he's grabbing, actually like, yeah, he's getting Hubris. Exactly, he's getting a control ward. And he's looking bot here. So why is he looking bot? Remember, he just cleared a cannon wave. So, guys, Qiyana is a champion that really relies on rotations, killing people, stuff like that, right? He already has a level lead, so he can definitely, like, he can lose a wave. That's not a problem, you know, especially if it's not a cannon wave. So instead of walking mid lane here, he walks bot because he thinks that he might get a kill. And I respect that, because if he gets like 1 or 2 kills, that's 100% worth the sacrifice of like 1 wave. And also he doesn't really lose a wave, because he can just catch the wave bot lane, right? So I don't really mind this. I think this is fine, because 2 reasons. Either you might even get a kill because they're like misplayed, or you don't even lose a wave because you can just catch the bot lane wave. Right, so I like this rotation. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. He now shoves in the wave, grabs Ice, and starts walking into the jungle here. So this is called shove and move. So you shove the wave, and then you move into this area, or like into this area. And you just try to make picks, you know, you're just looking. Qiyana's a champion that lives off these plays. But he gets spotted here, so he just clears the ward. But he still tries to keep going. Like, this is something people just don't expect, you know. People don't expect you to keep walking in here after you just cleared a pink. Like, you are on vision. Like, why you should do it? Just try. Just take a look and see what's going on. So he tries to go for it. Doesn't really work out. Now, jumps back. And now he's swapping up the lane assignments again. So he's mid lane. So, really nice little sequence. And now you can see that Syndra is actually quite low. Pyke gets a beautiful flash hook. And this execution is pretty simple, right? He E's onto the minion. Remember that E is a fixed distance. So he E's onto the minion. And then grabs W here. And then uses Q onto the Syndra. Really, really straightforward. Nothing too crazy. Now you just shove the wave, I guess. Exactly. And look what he's doing here. He's not staying in lane, doing nothing. No, he pushes the wave, and after pushing the wave, what he does is he walks top. He's hovering, he's looking. Why is it safe to walk top? Your Elise is there, your Olaf has prio, so even if someone walks into him here, it's like no danger at all. So beautiful, it's like the next lesson here, I would say. Play around your jungler and walk into the area of your jungler. And now Yorn is like forced to walk out of the tower. Elise will just use Cocoon here, and then I think W out, right? Beautiful execution. I mean, look at that. That is just beautiful execution. Beifeng, like, this is so high, like, high level. This is just, oh man. So they wait for the Yawn E to come back here, right? So Beifeng walks up, he takes one tower turret shot. Elise knows that this will kill the Yawn. So she uses her W, Cocoon, and then instantly gets into her spider form. W's out, and Beifeng knows that she will tank a tower shot. So what he does is he tanks a tower shot for the Elise and then runs out perfectly together with the Elise. No one dies, and they get a kill. It's like, nah, this is like, it's textbook. And he doesn't even lose a cannon wave. Again, he only lost like one normal wave, so this is 100% worth it. Plus, Olaf gets a lot of platings, and Yawn loses a wave here. So, amazing, amazing team play. And this is something you see in Challenger, by the way. We made a play top, the enemy team is making a play bot. So, something we could have done here is probably pinged that there will be a bot lane play. So this cross map thing happens a lot, so you kind of have to be okay with trading in high elo. So if you like get something top, the likelihood of something happening bot is really high. So if you have a really good ADC, like high level ADC, they will respect this and not die and just give up minions. But that doesn't really happen all too often. And look what he's doing, by the way. He's just rotating again. Literally, like he's really just rotating again and walking the long route here in order to get a kill onto the Kalista. And I think he will flash here probably, right? All right, so let's take a look at the execution. Let's break this down, you know. Let's be slow here, okay? So what is the exact combo? I'll tell you the exact combo on like what he's doing. So he presses E, by the way. He presses E first and clicks on the Kalista. This is called buffering, okay? After he pressed the E and clicks on the Kalista, he's pressing flash, so instantly after the flash, the E is casted, you know? That's why you do that. And since he's holding ice, he's pressing Q after the flash. By the way, I type D because I'm using flash on D, so I'm that, like, not cool guy who's using flash on F, but yeah. And then you have, like, E, flash, Q, which will root her. And then after that, he's using R, and then waiting for the W cooldown, you know, and then just Wing out and using Q. So E, Q, R, auto attack, by the way, in air. I think he missed the auto attack in air if you look closely. E, R, exactly, he cancelled his auto attack there, but he uses it here, so it's fine. And then W Q's out. Beautiful execution again, perfect. And just backs a really, really free kill. Alright, let's move on. I think he's just pushing a wave here. Note that Dragon is up, but he's resetting because he has no resources. Guys, with Qiyana, it's like driving a car. If you get low on fuel, just take a damn reset, please. Like, don't mess around too long. You know, just take a reset. He's low on mana, he's low on HP, like, not full life, so... And he has no ult, so there's no point to stay here. You know, he could invade with his team, but it's just risky. Like, there's no point to do that. Alright, now he walks back mid lane because Corki deployed bot. Beautiful. And also, like, if you are mid lane, you want access to all the objectives that are up. So, Drake and Herald here in this case. Or, like, Grubs. And in this case, it's, like, quite obvious that we will probably contest Dragon. How can I see that, right? So, look at the map. What is the likelihood of us doing Grubs here? It's pretty low, right? Like, yeah, top lane has prio, but everything is happening on this side of the map right now. Elise's bot, Pyke's bot, Corki's bot, and you are like mid lane, so it's really easy to collapse on this dragon instead of going for the Herald here. So Beifeng just pushes the wave here, catches the minions, grabs grass, and now does the following. Standing in Fog of War. These wards, by the way, like this pink ward is huge in this side bush. This gives you so many things. It gives your support and your jungle and your support access to the lane. They know that there's no vision, so they can easily gank from the side. And it gets you easy access to roams. Like, you know that if you walk through this bush, nobody is seeing you because you have that pink. So for pink wards specifically, guys, I highly advise you to put them into this bush. And you will see him do that really often too. Like, Beifeng always places those pink wards in the bush and nowhere else. Okay, really nice from the support, tries to get a pick before an objective happens. And now they just try to make the life of the Syndra extremely hard. Alright, small mechanical breakdown. So Elise hits the cocoon, Beifeng walks into max range and then uses Ice Cube. So it's important with Qiyana that you wait with your CC if your team has CC already, so you can like chain CC them. So Q and then auto attack Q again, like W auto attack Q. Nothing too crazy here, right? Now we grab grass. He actually misgrabs it here, which is okay though. You want to hold grass most of the time. And now I think we should have rotated like after this plating here. So after this plating, I think we should have rotated bot side here instead of like going for one more plate. But he does rotate now. He has ult up. Oops, excuse me. Grabs grass and kind of walks in here alone. No one else is here. But I think they will back the kill on the Kalista. So yeah, she's just giving the kill to Pyke. Pyke does actually get the hook though, and gives the kill to Beifeng here. Beautiful. So now he'll jump over with grass and walk back mid lane. Why is he walking back mid? Because his ADC is walking bot. You don't want to stack in one lane. So let's walk mid lane here. I would argue you could have also taken a reset. Unless this is a cannon wave. Yeah, I think... I mean, since your support is... Yeah, this is actually a tough one. Because you have a lot of gold, right? You have like 1,200 gold. But at the same time, he's matching tempo here with the Pyke. So this roam just guarantees a kill. So I actually think this is okay. But at the same time, I think you just get a free kill here, right? Should be pretty free. One more auto attack will finish it off and then grabs grass. Yeah. So look at his element usage here, guys. He grabs ice, but he's not using ice. I see so many people that just EQ here. But what do you do after that? Like, you have no W. So hold the ice element, auto attack with your increased AD and with your increased attack speed. And then use your EQ when you have the next W up. So this is just perfection, you know. Auto attack, still not using EQ. Now using EQ because after this sequence, he can grab a next W instantly. This is something you see with high elo Qiyanas. They rotate through their abilities like in a really, really nice way. So now let's see. Beifeng pushes in the wave here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hits a Q and takes a reset. Exactly. Getting really close to the profane. And again, he goes for this rotation. I'm not saying you should do this all the time, but in this case, again, look, he just got a cannon wave. This is a cannon wave. So the next two waves are no cannon wave. You are level 11. You can easily give up one or two waves here as Qiyana. This is a very important concept. So look what's happening here. He sees that Corki is alone. He sees that something might happen. I don't know if something will happen here, but he's just standing here in case something happens, you know? He's just hovering them. And now look what's going on. They are going for a fight, and they just get the Nico R and the Kalista R, which is huge, you know? Like, the enemy team can't fight because Beifeng is there. This was actually a big difference maker. Alright, they get Syndra flash. Mechanical breakdown pretty quickly. So he walks back mid lane here. I think there's nothing too crazy about that. Because he wants to swap the lane assignments again. Also, next wave is a Ken wave, so I don't really want to miss that. And now he's onto the minion again. And look where his cursor is. So it's really important that you time your cursor properly when you E. So you need to kind of, with Qiyana, you need to know where you will end up after your E. Which is like here. So if you are standing here, how do you have to direct your cursor? Up, right? So he's Eing and he already like has his cursor here and then uses Q. So look exactly on when he's casting Q. He's casting Q like right here. So instantly after the E he's casting Q and then grabbing ice instantly to like make Elise use the cocoon here. EQ, WQ, they get the flash. Beautiful execution. And you don't want to miss this next wave. So what you can see is he's not missing cannon waves, ever. Like, he's always on the cannon wave. He's really intentional with the cannon wave. So what he's doing is, he's never missing them, but he is missing, like, normal waves, because they don't give as much gold. So let's break this one down. I don't know what Syndra is doing here, to be honest. I think this is super risky, so he uses Q. And then uses ER, knowing that after the R places, he can just use WQ. I mean, this is pretty straightforward, right? He E's, uses ult, ignite, and then WQ to finish it off. Amazing. He gets the tower, and look where Shaco is. So, Shaco is bot. Everyone is bot. Yon is top. And Syndra is dead for like 30 seconds. And you have 6 grubs. What can we do? We can hit this tower, of course. Like, guys, that's just beautiful, you know. I can guarantee you that he will get this tower. Especially because the next wave is also coming in. So he's just pushing the wave here. and then just getting this tower in a moment. Actually, he's not getting the tower. That's interesting. I think... Okay, time is probably not enough. Like, maybe if she has TP, yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that, okay. If you have a wave here, though, I think you just keep pushing and you get the tower. Like, if the wave is already here, just keep pushing and you get the tower for free. 6 Grubs plus Hooper's AD is, like, really broken. But at the same time, you have the next objective coming up, so you need to have that, like, foresight, you know? So, next objective is up, so we can take a reset here and then be on the objective, like, on time. So, I respect that. So, where is he going? I actually think I disagree with going bot here. Like, Herald is up. I don't think this is, like... Even if you get 2 kills, this is super risky. Like, exactly. Like, Syndra can just TP here, and now you are in a 2v3 with a Corki that has, like, absolutely nothing. Yeah, I think he's going to die here. Like, pretty sure he's going to die here. But everyone makes mistakes, right? So let's see how he plays this. Alright, so let's break this down, guys. Why was this a mistake? I mentioned Herald is up. And as a Qiyana, you want to play for, like, objectives. So you kind of, like, run into a numbers disadvantage here. I think we disregard that Yon has TP. And at this high of a level, you kind of need to think of this. So Yon does have TP. And at the same time, you don't really know if Syndra has TP. So you could run into, like, a 4v2 here really, really fast. Which is not good. I think that's pretty straightforward. What would the better play be? Honestly, walk mid lane, push this next wave, and then help Elise with the Herald. Really simple. You know, just play around the objectives. I think this play is especially not good because you don't really have ult. So, many reasons why this play doesn't really work out. So let's skip forward here. Beifeng dies. It happens, you know. But move on. Keep the focus up. Don't tilt. And now we are going bot. Drake is up pretty soon. Mid lane is... So, you see this concept quite often. Usually, if something could happen mid, I can guarantee you he would walk mid lane here and just cover the Corki. Just in case something happens and a fight breaks out. If you are there with the fight, with this amount of items, you are, like, insanely strong. And you don't have to be bot lane right now. Yeah, there's a cannon wave, but to be honest, being at a fight is more important than a cannon wave at this stage of the game. But since there is nothing going to happen mid, because you already have prio, like, you can just... They can get prio on their own, right? So you don't really need to get mid lane prio here together with your team. So you can just go bot, get prio there, make someone respond to the wave bot lane, and then, like, prepare the dragon together with your team. So he places a pink ward, beautiful control over the bot side. And now he can just hit this tower. We have 6 Grubs, remember? But I think as soon as he sees that a fight is breaking out, he'll probably walk mid lane here, right? And if he sees that there's no fight breaking out, I think he'll just... Okay, now he senses that something could happen, so he kind of, like, walks mid lane, but then realizes nothing is happening again. Also, really good job by the enemy team here. Look what they are doing. They see that they can't access this dragon. So instead of, like, running into this dragon, dying, which will happen a lot, what they are doing is they are just pushing the mid lane wave here, trying to pressure this tower. So if they pressure this tower, like, they have a much easier time to do stuff after that. Like, they can just invade topside, maybe get top lane tower 2, and just create a little bit of counterplay instead of forcing the dragon here and dying into a Qiyana. Like, you cannot really force objectives into Qiyana because she is so strong with ult. Alright, so now what he does is he doesn't really want to walk into the mid lane area here, so they just hard pressure bot lane, which is... I like this, honestly. I don't think this is bad. I think this is really good, actually. They hard pressure bot lane, they get the bot lane tower, and what happens now, look at this. Syndra is bot, right? So there are never ever more than 4 people mid lane here because Syndra is bot, so you just created a numbers advantage. They all rotate mid lane now, and then they will get prio together, they will try to make plays. This is beautiful, this is textbook, this is exactly how you want to play. Pressure one side, shove the side, and then just move into the area here. So now Syndra can't access. Syndra can't access this fight. You have a really easy, you should have an easy time to fight this, I think. Yeah, they will get, like, at least 1 pick here, right? Yeah, they get Yon ult. They actually get nobody here, really. Yeah, that's crazy. They get nobody. But I think you can see the intention. So I like this play, to be honest. No objective is up, so that's totally fine to do. And you always need to know which objective is up. So in this case, it's Atakan. So, 2 plays. You can either catch the spot lane wave, or you can just go mid lane and push together mid lane and then go for Atakan, right? Together. But I think pushing bot lane here is fine, because your bot lane is just catching mid here. And honestly, macro with Qiyana is quite, like, straightforward. Be at objectives and either go to the objective through the side lane or through the mid lane. That's it. So if Dragon is up and you want to do Dragon, consider if you want to go bot in case something, if you want to go mid in case something happens, and then walk to the Dragon through mid lane so you get control. Or if your team is really strong and nothing is going to happen, you just go bot, push bot, and then access the Dragon through bot lane. So these are like the two options. And if two objectives are up, you kind of have to like see which objective you want to go for depending on your team comp and do you have dragons already? Is it Baron or is it Drake? Like, just prioritize what's more important. This is like really game specific though. In this case though, Atakan is like super important. And we see Beifeng dying here. So why is he dying here? Let's break this down. So I personally just think that he's like ignoring the fact that the enemy team has a lot of pressure here. Right? And I also think he just tries to kill. I think if he WQs out here, like WQ into this direction, he just gets out, especially if you look at the map. Like, no one is there. He's completely alone. And the Pyke also pinged the jungle here. So you could actually assume that someone will come, right? Which he really does not do. So it's kind of like deserved that he dies here. It sounds hard, but this is like a really high-level game. So it makes sense that he died. Now Atakan is up. They are playing at a numbers disadvantage. And I don't think, like, his team should win this. Like, it's illegal if his team wins this. That would be absolutely crazy. I think Yon is just buying time here. Actually, his team does win because Olaf is insanely fat and Yon is extremely weak. Yeah, but I think in a more even game, this is terrible. Yeah, so I think he should have pinged off his team, like, right here after he died. After you die, you have to ping your team away from the Atakan. And I see this with Beifeng really often, man. He is so lazy with his pings sometimes. It's crazy to me. Like, he just relies on him being good, and he just completely ignores to, like, ping his team. I don't know. But right here, you have to spam ping off the Atakan and ping them to, like, push mid lane and pressure this tower. In my opinion, at least. It's, like, much better than going for the Atakan here. But his team pushes mid, and now look, if you just push this mid lane tower, you can get the inhib maybe even. Because they are already at Atakan, right? Like, just give the objective and get mid lane tier 3, in my opinion. So yeah. He watches the fight, kind of, but he didn't really ping anything, so... Yeah, that's a bit sus, to be honest. But apart from that, I mean... we died twice. Both deaths, I think, were avoidable. But apart from that, I mean, you can see how good he is. Like, yeah, he did make 2 mistakes, but at the same time, I think he played really well like the rest of the game. So let's see what he does here, right? So he sees that his team is doing Atakan. They grab grass. And I think he's just looking to, like, make a play here. Alright, Syndra flashes away. Yeah, I think he's trying to buy time for his team. Doesn't really work out. Yeah, this is honestly whatever. Now he has to take a reset because of Shaco. But really nice that he's respecting the Shaco here. I think a lot of people would just stayed mid and just pushed. But again, he wasn't even top lane once here, by the way. He's really just focusing on the objectives, guys. Atakan is up, so what do? We walk to the most important objective here. And Atakan, you kind of have to contest it, like, most of the time if it happens, unless you get a lot of it. Like, if you get 3 towers or something for the Atakan, I think it's worth. And as I mentioned in the case, like, of the last sequence, you just get this, you get this, and then you shift top and get top lane tower 2. And then you get 3 towers for Atakan, I think that's worth it. But in this case, you can 100% go Atakan as well. If the enemy team here is smart, they are not contesting this. If they are smart, they are just pushing out mid lane and trying to get mid lane tier 2, in my opinion. Looks like they are contesting it though. Like, this is just fist fighting at its finest. But look what Beifeng is doing. Like, let's break it down, right? He's just using grass Q all the time, doing nothing else, and just waiting. And when he has no element, look how far back he's playing. And then he has grass again, and now he's walking up again. But look when he's walking up. When his second W is up too, because then he can use grass Q and grab grass again instantly after that. So he waits, grabs grass again, plays slow still, uses grass Q, grabs grass again, uses grass again, grabs grass. It's grass into grass into grass into grass. Like, I'm repeating myself, but yeah. And now he uses R. Like, it's just beautiful, man. The patience is crazy. Like, the patience is really crazy. So why does this work out, right? He uses grass into grass into grass, as mentioned. So now he sees an angle. So what does he do? He grass Qs the Syndra and then grabs grass again, by the way, like right here. I kind of have to slow this down, so let's do it. So right here, he uses grass Q into the Syndra. And grabs grass. Again, right here you can see he just used the W. And then uses ER. It's like such an important detail, man. Because what happens now, because he used W before his ult, is that his next W is almost up again. You have to use W always on cooldown. And now if you use Q in theory, like you have grass again, and you can just keep fighting, you know. And I think you can probably just like EQ flash this Shaco right now. So he E's again, buffers the Q, has his next W up here, so he uses WQ and kills the Shaco. Just beautiful execution. So let's break it down. E onto the Shaco and then flash. It's really important that you E and then flash and not flash and then E. Because flash into E is much slower. And if you E and then flash, you can buffer your flash. So that's exactly how you should be playing this. Then he grabs like WQ, kills the Shaco. Not much to say here, you know, just really, really clean execution. And from now on, the game is, guys, the game is pretty much over. Like, we are looking at 11 to Qiyana. Just got a triple kill. They got Atakan. And now we can just push mid lane and take a reset, you know. They get mid lane tower too. And I think they are just deploying at Drake here. Why is he going top here? Well, I mean, look at the map. What else is he going to do? Like, nothing is happening mid. They just pushed the wave. Elise is doing Drake. So, to be honest, I mean, there is no other call than going top lane here, in my opinion. Like, you just go top, you just side lane. And everything else doesn't really make sense, right? So he goes top, he jumps into the side lane, spots the yawn. I think there's an argument to be made that you could be mid lane here in case something happens. But there's no danger, right? I just think there's no danger. Alright. Tries to trade with the yawn a little bit. And I think the main reason why you go top here, by the way, is also that top lane tier 2 tower is still up. So ideally, guys, and I want to show this in the Rift kit, so that's a very, very important concept that you need to understand. So the way you get towers is like in a wave, basically. I like to call this in a wave. So if you got mid lane tier 1 tower, for example, as a mid laner, this gives you prio. So the enemy mid laner is here and you are like now free to like roam, right? So now ideally you want to get bot lane tower and then top lane tower. So now you have these 3 towers. Then you want to see which tower you can get. This is kind of spontaneous. It like depends on the situation and stuff. But mostly you can get bot lane tower or like mid lane or top lane, one of those. And then you want to kill the other 2 towers depending on what you got after that. You never really want to like force this tower when these 2 are still up because it's just harder to get, you know? Like it's just much harder to get. So instead you can kill this one, which gives you prio again over this side of the map. And that makes it like easy to walk in here and get this tower too. And then that makes it easy because you have prio over this whole side to like get control mid lane and then walk up and do this tower. So you always kill towers in waves, you know? So after getting this, you get this, then 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 this, and then you can finally finish. So that's usually how you play. So if you look at the situation right here, the only tower that's up is like top lane tier 2, really. And that's it. There is nothing else that is up. So it wouldn't make too much sense to go anywhere else right now. So tries to trade with Dion a little bit, pushes in the wave, and his team knows this, so what they do is they get control, as mentioned, and they try to get top lane tier 2. They get top lane tier 2, and the reason why Beifeng is going in so aggressively here is simply because he has the Atakan buff, so he doesn't really have to be scared. But I think he could have played this a bit slower. Like, this is pretty cocky to just, like, jump in. So he walks back. I think he thought that Syndra is alone, which she wasn't, so yeah. And now his team is kind of like 4v5, which is a bit risky. And they do actually end up dying, I think. Yeah, exactly. So they actually threw the game here a bit. And this really just teaches us that we need to be really, really careful. And the only reason why this worked out, guys, let's be honest here, is that Elise smurfed it. Like, she got 2 kills here, so like right here, she just got 2 kills on her own. But you can't rely on stuff like this. You want to make safe calls when you are ahead like this. Alright, so now he's trying to search for the Shaco. Small detail here, by the way. He sees the Shaco and then sees that he's going over the wall. So what he does is he like walks back up to him, places a ping to spot him, and now he knows the Shaco is topside. So now what he can do is he can just QWEQ and actually kill him. But it was, damn, it was actually the clone. honestly, Shaco played that pretty well. Like, he's probably resetting somewhere up in the top lane, right? Alright, and as you can see, there's always this big fight for mid lane priority. So Corki instantly walks mid lane here to get mid lane priority. And whenever Baron is up, Baron is a huge priority. Like, Baron is really, really important, so always try to play for it. So why are they starting Nash here? You might think that's dangerous. I don't think so. I think this is a pretty good call, because they push in the mid lane first. This shows multiple people here, so let's also show this on the Rift Kit. I think this is a very important concept to understand. So many people show mid lane here, right? So now what you can do as a team is you can just start Baron, and if they want to enter, they have to walk into a Qiyana Pyke Elise. Like, I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a very scary prospect for me. Like, I'm not happy with that as a team. So the reason why this works is because they push mid lane first. If they don't push mid lane and they just start Baron right away, what the enemy team can do is they can just shove mid, get like 2 towers here, and then yes, you got Baron, but you lost your entire mid lane towers for this. It's like not as good as pushing the wave first, right? So I think this is a very, very important concept to understand. Okay, so they push mid lane here. They go for the Baron, and Beifeng is just standing here, waiting for the enemy team to go in, which they are not doing, as I mentioned, because it's scary. And you lost nothing for that. It's so simple, guys. Push mid lane if you are ahead, get priority, do the Baron, and life's easy, you know? Okay, so we are going bot because Dragon is up pretty soon, I think. Yeah, Dragon is up in like 2 minutes 12, and it's like soul point, so you kind of want to be bot in case something happens. So we are pushing the bot lane wave out. I think 1-3-1 is okay, but honestly I think 4-1 is better here. So instead of Olaf and Qiyana being on the side, I think 4 people being mid and Olaf being top is better, because it's quite risky to be in a 1-3-1, you know? Like, being in a 1-3-1 is really dangerous because the enemy team can collapse on one of you guys. Bad things can happen. The nice thing is, if they collapse on Olaf and you are like all mid lane, you can just keep pushing and end the game. Basically. And if they collapse on you guys and Olaf is top, then he can just get this inhib and you will not, like, the likelihood of you dying as 4 is like really low. Whereas if you do a 1-3-1, what can happen is they kill one, they reset, they defend, and then it's like hard because it's a 4v5. So doing a 1-3-1 can be good in specific situations. If you have something like Fiora and Belweth, as an example, right? In that case, you would probably send Belweth to like one side and Fiora to the other side to like pressure really hard, and you would send 3 people mid lane. But that is only viable with a very specific team composition. So what we can see now is that they are basically pressuring all 3 sides. But as I mentioned, I don't like this that much. I think pressuring 2 sides is just much better. I think this is actually pretty troll. Like, pretty troll. Because I think someone died here. Yeah, this is like exactly what I mean, you know? Like, why would you do that? It makes no sense, but yeah. Okay, but Beifeng gets the kill onto Yon here. A pretty easy execution. W. Look at his combo execution here. He uses grass again in stealth. Yon Q's in because he doesn't think that Qiyana will go in. And then at the end of the stealth, W and instant E. So while the W animation is casted, he uses E and then ults him onto this wall. And then just uses Q, Profane, Auto Attack, Ignite, and that's a free kill. And I'm actually surprised they can't end here, but the enemy team is probably just defending, yeah. Alright, so let's actually see how they end this game, finally. Right, so they pressure, they pressure, they pressure. I could imagine that they end here in some sort. It's always what happens, yeah. Elise might end up dying here. Yep, exactly. And now they have no pressure anymore, so they kind of have to like back off, most likely. Oh, damn, Kalista played that in a... Wow, in a miraculous way. Damn, that was nice. Oh my, okay, yeah, Kalista smurfed it. Kalista smurfed it. And as I mentioned, they were like outnumbered there because Elise died and Pyke died before that, so yeah. And now they're losing the dragon, you know, and the enemy team can kind of like come back a little, but I think this is pretty much done. So let's see what's going on here. So the enemy team got Drake here, and now Beifeng is deploying back on the map, just going mid. This is really straightforward, you know, you just walk up to your team. And I'm pretty sure that they will like try to look for a window here to end. I even think it's dangerous for Beifeng to be here. Like, if his team gets collapsed on and he's not there, it's like really bad, you know. So I think just go mid. You don't need all 3 waves coming into them. Also, you have no flash, so it's a bit hard. And now the enemy team gets a beautiful engage again. Elise dies, and it's again super hard to end. So I think this is actually quite a bit greedy, like pretty greedy, you know. His team dies, they have to back off again. Beifeng dies as well. And the enemy team is defending here. So what's the right play? The right play is to just wait for Baron. It sounds dumb, but just wait for Baron. Like, why would you force? It makes no sense. So the enemy team defends. Beifeng comes back onto the map here. He has his flash up in 50 seconds. They get Baron. And I'm pretty sure they can end like right now. In some sort. Alright, so they kind of deploy. And they again do a 1-3-1. I will never understand it, bro. Like, this kind of pisses me off a little bit because this is like high challenger in China and they just do a 1-3-1. I mean, yeah, getting all 3 inhibitors is fine, but... and pushing as well, but it's just dangerous because look, Olaf is bot right now while they get collapsed on again, like for the 3rd time in a row. This is just absolutely crazy. And yeah, Corki dies. And it's just hard to end. It's just really, really hard to end. So Beifeng has to smurf it, you know? And I can tell you, he will just hit like a 3 or 4 man R here and completely smurf this fight. Probably. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. They have a fight. They might even lose this one. They might actually even lose this one. So Beifeng uses ult. Olaf gets a beautiful angle in here, right? And also they got Kalista flash here, if you can like spot us closely. So Beifeng waits for something to happen. Kalista shows up and he wants to like ER the Kalista here. She uses flash and that's why she dies to the Olaf here. So really good execution still. And now you are just waiting for grass again. Like the only thing you are using is oh my god. So he flashes out of the Nico R. Let's slow this fight down so you can see this in a really, really nice way. So let's see this. So he uses grass, makes the Nico think that he walks into this direction and then flashes out of the range perfectly. And then just waits for the next W and then uses W EQ grass again. Gets stunned though, and I think he will just die here. Yeah, exactly. But maybe his team can smurf it, right? I mean, let's just skip through this. Let's see what happens. I think his team wins the fight and they will just like end the game here. Yeah, exactly. So what did we learn here, guys? You can still lose the game if you mess it up. If they lose that team fight right here, by the way, like if they lose this fight, they lose the game after being this far ahead. So remember, guys, 1-3-1, really important. Don't do this unless you have a really good team comp for this. Like 2 extremely strong side laners that can just like end the game if you get collapsed on mid. So yeah. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. As mentioned guys, 5 euros per month for coaching. I mean, it doesn't get cheaper than that. Check out the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a pleasure looking at gameplay from the GOAT, Beifeng. Yeah, have a nice day guys. Love you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.